I mean, I really should be an icon by now, right? 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 Anyways, hello, my name is Brian. This is Football Manager 22. We're back in Malia looking at the club info screen, noting that I am still just favored personnel along with Iker Hernandez and Ruben Del Campo, who both are no longer with the team. So, they did help the team get promoted twice, so that's that, or 3 times even, in the case of Iker, but neither with the team anymore. Maybe update with the times, guys. Let's take a look at the club vision screen. They are delayed. We've signed players on the age of 23 for the first team. We are playing high-tempo, possession, pressing soccer. We're within the payroll budget. We are going to avoid relegation. And we did a pretty good job in the Copa del Rey. Maybe still are. We'll come back to this. Let's take a look at the winter transfer window real quick. We brought in Abukar Ayoha. He's a left back. He is terrible, but he's 17, which means he's on the youth team, and he plays defensive back. So again, we were just kind of filling out the youth team at positions we need. We signed Mohamed Doumbia from Sevilla. Again, a 17-year-old filling out that youth team, except he's actually good. 2-star current ability, 4-star potential ability with a 5th potential star. I don't know why Sevilla let him get away. Sign this guy to a contract. What are you doing? 13 pace, 16 acceleration, 12 dribbling, 14 finishing. Can probably play striker with that kind of finishing. 16 passing? Hello. I mean, only 6 crossing, so he's not an amazing winger right now. Pretty good mentals. This kid's legit. And, notice, he's Spanish, but of course, we wouldn't have signed him if he was just Spanish. He's also of Malian descent. So, legal. And then there's the one signing we made to try and improve the team this year. Right now, it's Ahmed Sami, our first Egyptian, and so our first technically non-EU player. We brought him from Marseille for about $11 million. It might have been a bit of an overpay, but that's, the nature of things when you're signing players who aren't listed. He's essentially going to be our Jose Antonio Gonzalez replacement, or at least that's my ideal for him. Just a very good physical attribute block here. 13 pace and 12 acceleration. It's got good balance, got good natural fitness, got some solid jumping reach at 6 foot. Very good mental block again. Has double digits in everything except for off the ball and flair. So he's not really an offensive oriented center midfielder, which is, both of our center mids are usually pretty offensively oriented. He's not going to be bad at that, but that's not really a speciality. He's more of a ball winner. But, plays center mid and not defensive mid. But what I found, positive was still, again, the 12 marking, 14 tackling. He even has 9 crossing. So my thought, boom, left-footed. What if we cross-train him at left back, which he's started a couple games for us there already. And suddenly we have a guy who can play, 2 of every 3 games, rotating between being a starting rotational left back and a spelling people at center mid. And maybe we build him up a defensive midfielder as well. So, he won't have the Jose Antonio Gonzalez also left wing thing, probably. I mean, we might be able to develop it eventually, but I think we can really make a very flexible player out of him that really serves the team very well. He's a professional personality, so we should see a lot of good arrows, 16 determination. So he's going to be good for the club environment as well. I already speaks good Spanish, so we didn't have to work on teaching him Spanish. Came out of El Mansoura in Egypt and then straight to Marseille, where he's been for the last couple of years. Playing on their second team mostly. So, jump over to our competitions, how we've been doing so far. Let's talk about the Copa del Rey, which we are still in. Filter this down to just the Copa del Rey? Yes, we can. All right, so we had a very favorable draw this time, which is something we haven't had in the past. We got to face Avila in the first round. These are all road games because generally you go to the easier teams. They're in the 4th tier. Then we faced Mora, who is not even in the 4th tier. They're in, I don't know if this is the 5th or 6th tier. They're a semi-pro team based in Castilla-La Mancha, somewhere in that area. We killed them. Castellon, who's a 3rd-tier side, and Alaves, who's a 2nd-tier side. Now, they're leading the 2nd tier right now, but they're still a 2nd-tier side. So we advanced through the 4th round pretty easily, and then we drew Barcelona in the quarterfinals. And we won. With a pretty heavily rotated side, frankly, actually, which was, very surprising. And they didn't bring out a rotated side themselves. Ter Stegen's their starting goalkeeper. Griezmann, Pedri, Gavi, De Jong, Poku. Though Poku did pick up an injury in the third minute and have to come off. But this is clearly was intended to be starting side, which may have been the problem in that they tried to run out a starting side on a 2-3 days rest, and they were exhausted. But either way, took advantage. So that puts us in the semifinals. We have Villarreal. We played the first leg. It went 1-3, which wasn't ideal. The first goal was insanely frustrating. The first goal they scored had a XG of .02. I had to go replay it about 5 times, changing the camera angle every time to see what happened. And basically, it was one where you'd have to use the goal line camera like 17 times to see that it went completely past the goal before Sandro Cruz on the left edge headed it out. It was off a corner. So that's frustrating. It is a road game, and we get the home game coming up, so we'll have to check the rules on tie breaks. Okay, it is away goals. So we have one away goal. So 2-0 wins it for us. 3-1 would send us to more to penalties in the next leg. Yeah, so that's coming up. Let's come on. There we are. Back to everything else. So we are currently sitting in 7th place, right behind Villarreal, 37 points. They have earned 38. They do have we have a game in hand against them, so if we get a good result here, we should jump back up into 6th. We have some bad recent form, if you note up there, but it is mostly justified, though still not my favorite thing. Let's take it back. We our last game was against that we showed was against Gijón, excuse me. And then we followed up by beating Real Sociedad, who's a good team. It was a home game, but took advantage. We lost to Real Betis. We lost to Real Madrid. Madrid, understandable. Real Betis, at least it was a road game. Beat Osasuna, beat Las Palmas, beat Levante, Malaga, Celta, draw with Granada. Irritating loss to Getafe, who's not a good team. Draw with Bilbao, win over Rayo Vallecano. Which took us into January. And every 2 years, I believe it is, January sucks. Because that's when AFCON is, the African Continental Championship. And, the UEFA Champions League, the UEFA, the Euro Cup, as well as the CONCACAF, and I'm sure CONMEBOL, all happened during the traditional international window. But for whatever reason, AFCON does not. It just happens during January. So for the first half of the year, for the first half of the month, and I guess the start of the year, the first half of the start of the year, we were missing 7 players who are on various African national teams. So we were missing all 3 of our members of our 3 primary Ivory Coastians, Sessenchan, Kawio, Jajaje. We were missing Babangida, our goalkeeper. And some of those were more depth pieces, but so we were really shorthanded in January. So actually, I'm reasonably happy with our results in January. We won against Sevilla. The draw with Cadiz is not my favorite, but we drew Barcelona, which I'll take. Yeah, we lost to Atletico and Valencia, but Atletico is a top 6 team, and Valencia is as well. And Valencia was a road game as well. We lost to Villarreal in La Liga 3-4. This one was just an absolute FMing of all FMings. They scored in the 43rd, and we matched in the 45th plus 1 at the half. We come out and score the 54th and 83rd, carry a 3-1 lead, and they score 90, 90 plus 2, and 90 plus 5. Come on. Talk about a collapse at the end, which led right into us playing them again on the road again in the Copa del Rey. So they certainly think they have our number. Hopefully we'll turn it around. But really the thing is, the schedule is, other than this game against Gijon, the schedule has been hard. Barcelona, Atletico, Villarreal, Valencia. Sociedad's in 4th, Betis is in 8th, Real Madrid's in 2nd. But what that means is, if we can just hold where we're at, if we can beat Gijon, it's a home game, they're in 14th, we should be able to do that. And if we can, say, hold Betis to a draw or get a win here, and maybe grab a draw in either of those, the road games to Sociedad and Madrid, that means our last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 games are literally the 11 easiest games we get. Osasuna's in 12th. Las Palmas 19th. Granada's in 10th. Malaga's 13th. Celta's 20th. Levante 16th. Getafe is 15th. Bilbao 9th. They're the best team we play. Sevilla 11th. Real Vallecano 17th. Cadiz 18th. So if we can just hold even, we should tear apart the back half of this schedule. It is remarkably staggered, our schedule. So we just need to hold the form. And so we've got our game against Gijon here. I tried to record the game against Villarreal, the 3-4 disaster defeat. My microphone stopped working. It didn't stop working. So for some reason, the device wasn't enabled at all. So I was just prattling on for no reason. And obviously, if I'd known this was going to be the result, I would have shown the Barcelona game, because who doesn't want to see us beating Barcelona? But so it is. We're going to face Gijon. We're going with the new quote-unquote starting lineup up top of Fatawu, Kawio, Jajaje. Again, trying to optimize our best players in those spots, our best young players. Kawio is still developing at right back or right wing. Let's see his coach reports. Okay. Can play in a couple positions, so it suggests that his adaptability is fine, which is a hidden attribute you don't get to see. But yeah, it's good. We've played Ahmed Sami the last 2 games, so I'm giving him the game off. We're going to play Boyamo at the left back. Riyad Ananu. Again, Matsima has played pretty regularly, so we'll give him a little break here to play Ananu. Sessingen, Yusuf Gaibu, Daniel is pretty conventional middle for us, and Babangida in goal. Positive. Yep. Okay, looks good. Yeah, pretty heavy rotation. We did play a pretty rotated side for the game, the Copa del Rey game. The schedule's been a little bit packed because of the run in Copa del Rey, as well as just some general congestion in the schedule. But it looks like that'll definitely even, it will shift back to a very much once a week type thing going forward. So we'll be able to really just run the top team as much as we want. Rainy conditions, not sure if that favors us or not. Sessingen plays it up to JJ after an interception. Plays to Kawio, who there's Boys Guard. Classic. Squanders it, unfortunately. Bamangita will initiate here. Plays it out to Ananu. He's going to play it across to Riyadh. Probably out to Boyamo. Yep. And up to Fatawu. Yep, I can call the easy passes. Finds JJ, who turns. Plays it to Daniels. Daniels is back to Fatawu. None of our teams won AFCON. I don't know who won AFCON, but I know we did get our players back earlier than... There it is. Sessingen crosses. Chad Daniels finishes. 7th minute goal for the team in blue. Someone definitely missed a interception here, a deflection to save things. Yep, Francis went up and came back down without the ball. I believe Charles Abbey has 11 goals. Our backup goalkeeper, JJ, has 11 goals. That was Daniel's, 9th? So he's probably the 3rd leading scorer for the team. Sesson, Jaibua, Kawio, JJ. He's going to turn, do a back flick, find Sessengen, looking for Daniels, racing out of that midfield spot. Saved by Gabriel Batista. But it'll give Sessengen a chance to play a ball from the corner. We really are lacking in terms of, thank goodness Sessengen's good at corners, because we don't really play, generally, many right-footed players. So when Sessengen's not on the field, we almost always have to have an outswinging corner there, even though I much prefer to have an inswinger, just because the only other right-footed players are usually center backs who I want. Jajaja just barely can't redirect the ball. That's the problem. He's got good jump, got good heading, good jumping reach, good strength, but doesn't have a good heading skill, doesn't have the ability to put on frame, and has kind of bad finishing for his level again. So looks like we're going to head here into halftime. Fatou has picked up an injury. We will make the sub at halftime. He's playing left wing, so yeah, it's easy to bring in Michael Musa here. Tactics, yeah. Musa Michael's definitely one where I still can't believe his value is so low. Like, he's a very legitimate La Liga player. It's not amazing, but he's a solid La Liga player. He's still worth $1 million, you're telling me? I'm not... My valuations have not spiked the way I'd like to see. I need to be able to sell some players to make some profit to then reinvest and buy new players. That's the cycle that you got to go through. But if your players aren't worth anything, then you can't go through the cycle. Then basically you have to rely on, say, making the Champions League and getting those big payouts for making the group stage and doing well in the group stage. Which obviously we haven't done yet, and while we'd like to do, there's no guarantee. Good pass there, but luckily they squandered the shot. There's no guarantee that we'll actually get to the Champions League, let alone Europe in general. Sessengen looking for Kawio, maybe a bit of a foul right on the edge of the box, but they're not going to call it. Anu will bring it up, play to Gayabua, to Riyad, to Yusuf, finds Daniels. Daniels turns, finds Michael. Musa Michael, just over the net. Liked the opportunity, liked the look. Sporting Gijón has made their first change. Daniels made a good run, but intercepted. Olsen there seems like a big guy. Making an in-breaking run against Boyamo. Riedewald back to Pablo. Pablo up to Almiron. Sessengen tracking out with him. Doesn't do the greatest job in staying with him. Olsen, again, big guy, seemingly gets a header, but over the top. Looks like Sporting Gijón allegedly is going to move to a more attacking mentality. That's fine. Theoretically, that allows us to hit against them. Yusuf with the Gayabua, out to Sessengen. Finds Kawio. Kawio back into Gayabua. Finds Daniels, streaking. Again, that's Daniels' role. Saved by Batista. Sessengen's gassing out. We're going to have to figure out what to do there. Generally, Ananu is the backup. We can't push Ananu outside. Yes. The question is then, who is playing center back? Looks like Matsima's not even on the roster today. Maybe he's picked up yellow card accumulation. So we will play Faustino there, and hopefully it won't bite us. Actually, we'll play Riyad there and play Faustino at the other spot, but you get the idea. Gayabua is the next in terms of tiredness. So, yeah, ball thrown to Kawio, plays it back to Gayabua. Jajaja makes a leading play. Oh, it doesn't work out as intercepted, but then they make a very sloppy pass, and Chad Daniels, man of the game, clearly intercepts, scores a second goal, has a brace, 10th goal of the year. Whoops, not so good, Gadara. And yeah, let's go ahead and get Gayabua off, and let's get... No, let's give Sammy the chance to rest. Let's play Nadam. We don't need to tire anyone out. change my instructions? Leave me alone. We have 1.7 XG. They have 0.3. We're up 2-0. You're going to really whine at me, assistant manager? Ananu doesn't do anything with his ball forward. Lauren, Zima. Elmiron, Zima. Salvador, Manu, Lauren. The lowest level of soccer commentary where they just say the names. Almiron, Aramu. Starched into the back of the net. What a laser. Please take it away. Please take it away. I don't think they're going to take it away. Oh, they took it away. Lucky day. I really don't need the sweat after, that Villarreal game 2 games ago where they poured 3 in the 90th plus. Nice, easy win. Keep the boys motivated. Musa Michael. Just barely can't hit the target in that top right corner. Nadam plays it up to Cowio. Cowio is going to chip it across to no one, but back into their defense, and with a 2-goal lead, that's usually pretty effective. Lauren played to El Moron. Over to Salvador, to Manu. Again, bombing forward. Faustino makes a good run that time, staying with his man. But Babangida gets it up and picks it up, rolls it out, and this one's all over. But the Sporting Gijon tears. Jaja chips it out to Michael Musa. Musa Michael. Boyamo, Jaja ball's played for Michael, but no luck. But again, no sweat. And so, that's where we're at. Team's doing rather well. And if we can just survive this next 4 or 5 game slate, we're now tied for 5th. A little ahead of Villarreal. Based on goal differential, we should be even higher. But, we've had some unfortunate results. I guess Atletico still has their game to play as well, so they could jump back ahead of us, but ahead of the tie we're in. Sure, I have to pay some more money to ES Tunis. Good for Tunis, I suppose. We broke our non-win streak because, again, we were facing Barcelona, Atletico, Valencia, and Villarreal. One, 3, 5. Yeah, the Cadiz draw is not good, but 7. 1, 3, 5, 7. Okay. So yeah, we have a full week until our game against Real Sociedad. We are, I think, 3rd in the Division de Honor Juvenil Grupo 4. Kind of as I suspected we might be. We're trailing both Real Betis and Sevilla in those standings. But since our first 2 games in January, since the transfer window when we brought in our new attacker, we have run off 5 straight wins, including ones over Las Palmas and Granada, who are 2 of the theoretically better teams in our group. I say theoretical because maybe they're not. Where even is Las Palmas? Is that a friendly we played? Oh, that was in the Copa del Rey Juvenile first round. Cool. So we won our first round match in the Copa del Rey Juvenile. Yeah, we... as you can see, based on positioning here, and this is unfortunate that it's all muddied with players who should not be here, like Olafunwa. They're set to play in here when they're tired or when they're not fit. Sorry, not match sharp. Get my terms technically right, but there's no, we don't use the U19s for that anymore because they just play their own matches. So, but you can see we only have Daniel here's the right back, and then we have 4 center backs, but one of them is a loanee, and 1 left back who we just signed in the winter window. So before that, we didn't have a left back. We were playing somebody else at left back, which, frankly, given the stars you can see down here, might have been the better thing to do. We get rid of the unavailable players. There we are. Here's the actual wind up. We're also missing center midfielders, but, we have enough attacking players, and our 4-3-3 does lend towards attacking players that apparently it fills reasonably well. Get them cross-trained as Mazalas and whatnot. But yeah, really, Mohamed Doumbia has really helped things out. 5 goals, 3 assists, and 6 appearances, 9 competitive games, nearly an 8 average rating. He's great. Thank you, Sevilla, for letting me have him. Resolute personality, too. Good stuff. All right. So thank you so much for joining me. If we manage to beat Villarreal and are playing in the Copa del Rey final, then I'll definitely be recording that. And I may or may not make it a 4-episode season with whatever game it is we need to clinch, or maybe it'll just be the Copa del Rey. We'll see how it goes, whether I feel compelled to record 1 or 2 videos, and of course we might just not beat Villarreal, and then it would just be the 1 year end video. So thank you so much for joining me. I would really like to hear from you. Please don't hesitate to leave a comment. Let me know how we're doing, what you think. If you can identify a reason why our player valuations are not where I think they should be. But yeah, I appreciate your time, and I hope you have a very lovely day. Thanks so much. Bye.